Hi, Eytan, Cohen, Yanarocak. Thank you so much for joining us here at All
Thank you very
Israel
much for
News.
having me. Thank you for having me.
So what do you expect to see next? Is a new chapter in the Israel-Turkey relationship about to open following the President Herzog's meeting with Erdogan in Ankara in the coming weeks?
Well, I think that we should be very cautious. I do not think that the Turkish president became a Zionist in a night, in a sudden way. I think this is very much stemmed from the devaluation of the Turkish lira because of the Turkish isolation in the Eastern Mediterranean. When we are looking at large to the map of the Eastern Mediterranean, we can see that Turkey has no proper relations with Greece, Cyprus, Egypt, Israel, and even Syria and Lebanon. They have, very bad relations. And as a result, in order to smash the alliance between Cyprus, Greece, and Israel, I think this is a tactical move by the Turkish administration. And I think this is also very much related to the fact that the United States, the Biden administration recently declared of America's withdrawal from the support of the Eastern Mediterranean pipeline. And in Turkish eyes, this is a great opportunity. Maybe with a counter offer, they can persuade the Israeli government. But now I will provide you the Israeli angle of the issue. From the Israeli point of view, we can say that Israel is not going to sacrifice her security relations with Greece and Cyprus. Both of the countries are the members of the European Union, and basically this fact is strengthening the hands of the state of Israel also inside the European Union. We also have two other very friendly nations in Europe, two allies, Hungary and Germany. And thanks to this current rapprochement between Greece and Cyprus, so we now have four important allies inside European Union. On the other hand, the Turkish rapprochement is very fragile. In case that we will experience another unwanted escalation in the Gaza Strip or in Lebanon, we may again receive very harsh statements from President Erdogan again. So in Israel, there is a public saying, "Kabdeu vechashdeu," meaning that you should respect, but at the same time you should be very cautious. I think Israel should do everything to mend her fences with Turkey. We did not sign a peace treaty with Turkey to have proper relations with this country. I would like to remind you to have proper relations with Egypt, Jordan, and also with the United Arab Emirates and other Arab nations. We have to sign a treaty. With Turkey, we did not sign such a treaty, so we should be also aware of this historical fact, and we should be grateful for that. We have no intention to turn Turkey into another enemy like Iran. So whenever a Muslim nation is trying to shake the hand of the Jewish state, in my opinion, we should be constructive. We should shake that hand, but this time, given the historical circumstances, now we can make some demands because our hand is a lot stronger today. And in this regard, we can ask the Turkish government to put an end to their support to Hamas terrorist organization. And I think this is a very legitimate demand. In case that the Turkish government will collaborate with us, and I'm opening a parenthesis, not only with us, because it is also a precondition for the normalization with United Arab Emirates and also Egypt. All of these countries in the region see the Muslim Brotherhood movement as a terrorist organization. So Hamas is also considered as a part of this umbrella organization called the Muslim Brotherhood. And as a result, Israel is using the Turkish-Egyptian diplomatic crisis as a leverage to maximize its interests. So in a nutshell, we should be very cautious, but if someone is shaking our hand, let's shake that hand. Let's be positive.
Indeed. So you see this warm up of ties as part of a bigger strategy of Erdogan's end game in the region and his attempt to restore the Turkish economy as well. I'll just ask you one more question because all
Sure.
eyes are on Russia and Ukraine at the moment. And I'm wondering, where does Turkey fall there as a member of NATO on one hand, but we know that it has been leaning towards Russia on many occasions in recent years, strategically, security-wise, also cooperating sometimes within the territory of Syria. Other times, it has reached an armed conflict sometimes by Turkish-backed forces against Russian-backed forces. But where do you see things from a Turkish point of view with what's unfolding in Europe right now?
Okay, as far as the Turkish-Russian relations are concerned, we cannot start the relations only after 1923. Which means that if we would like to make a reference to the collective memory, to the national collective memory, I would like to divert your attention to the imperialistic times, meaning the Russian Empire versus Ottoman Empire. These two empires fought 14 times, and Turks were defeated 14 times, meaning that historically speaking, the Turkish administrations, not only because of the Cold War, but because of this public memory, because of the state's memory, regard Russia as a historical nemesis, meaning that Turks would not like to see a stronger Russia in the Black Sea, because prior to the collapse of the USSR, Soviet Union, Turkey and Soviet Union were neighbors because of Georgia. But thanks to the collapse, now we have the Georgian state. For the Turks, it's a buffer zone. But when they are looking at the northern side of the country, which means the Black Sea area, Turkey is seeing the Crimea occupation as an unacceptable thing because it is also shaking the status of the Turkish Tatari community there. These people are descendants of the Ottoman Empire there. So Turkey doesn't want to see any status quo change. Turkey doesn't want to see a stronger Russia in the Black Sea. And apart from that, you mentioned Turkey is a member of NATO. This is a huge headache also for Turkey because Turkey is also is considered as the sovereign state of the Turkish Straits, meaning that in case that NATO will declare war against Russia, so Turkey will be the one that has to decide which warships would pass from the Mediterranean into the Black Sea. And if Turkey is considered as a part of NATO, then technically speaking, this will also turn Turkey as a belligerent in such a total war, which means that Turkey should declare war against Russia. If I would like to translate this into a bigger picture, it's not only Black Sea, it's the Nagorno-Karabakh, it's it's Syria, it's Libya. This, I know that I'm speaking in an apocalyptic manner, but this can
where we are in apocalyptic times. Hi.
Yes, this can trigger sort of a World War III even, because in different theaters we have both Turkish and both Russian army and their proxies as well. So from Turkish point of view, Turkey doesn't want to see itself in between Russia and NATO. That is why Mr. Erdogan tried to lower the tension by saying that he is eager to host a summit in Turkey between Zelensky and Putin. Mm-hmm. But in the meantime, I do not see that it is happening. Now, Mr. Putin is making unilateral moves, and now the West is very busy to react to these unilateral moves. This is very, from my perspective, pathetic, because the West is reacting. The West is not initiating. So the Russian hand is stronger. The Russians are using this strategic surprise element of the political science, while the West is on its defense. So this is, from my perspective, very unfortunate. Yes,
We
so
appreciate your perspective.
thank you very much.
Hi, thank you so much for this fascinating breakdown. We very much appreciate it here on All Israel News. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me, Tam.